Hey viewers, welcome to another game as a casual pro gamer. Today we're doing a Thresh game, which is exactly what he selected, which is excellent. And we are going to go top lane, so not going for a support role this time. And well, Thresh is played by Nice Catch, which is of course a very nice name. We are going to go top lane, as I said, and I have never seen that work. So yeah, I'm really wondering what that will look like, and if that will actually be good. So if we can reproduce this time after time. So let's see where everyone is going. This seems about right. Sejuani has a new picture. Of course she was remade, so kind of should expect her to have a new picture. It seems that Xerath is mid and then Cho'Gath is going jungle. Okay, cool. That means that all they have to do is switch these two and everything is good. So enemy team defending their blue, we are defending our blue, and we're just kind of waiting for nothing to happen. So yeah, I'm going to stick with Thresh for the start of the game because I want to see how this works and well what he's leveling up and things like that. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So we are here against Gangplank. Gangplank, of course, not the strongest top laner, but definitely a good one. He is my personal favorite, yeah, if I want to actually win. Teemo is my personal favorite for top laner if I just want to play. I don't really mind losing with Teemo. Teemo is fun anyway. But yeah, Gangplank is, I'm really good with him, and I understand how he needs to be played, and that is very important to do. For example, you need to use that Q on him to actually hit the enemy champion, not to last hit, even though you get a little bit of extra gold from it. Unless you're really being zoned out, you should use basic attacks to farm and use that Q, the shot, to harass your opponent, because harassing your opponent, that's how you win. And we see here that Thresh is already, well, he has taken quite a bit of damage, but he is still doing a good job of last hitting, still doing a good job of harassing his opponent. And well, we are currently 7 to 11 now, which means we are actually doing very well. But you can see that even though Gangplank should be zoning out the Thresh, he's not really doing that. On the other hand, Thresh is also not zoning out the Gangplank, but I don't think he actually can, although he is ranged. So there's that. He can be a little more aggressive, obviously, but I don't know how much mana he would spend on his skills then, because yeah, if you have 80 mana skills, of course this is still a good one, but it's a shield, so it doesn't really do anything. But if you have to spend 80 mana on a skill, then yeah, you're going to run out of mana really quickly, and that is of course not what you want in this lane. You want to stay in the lane as long as possible. And as you can see, just doing a little bit of harassment. He knows his minion wave was pretty big when it came into the tower. And most of those minions actually got taken out by the tower. But as you can see, Gangplank still good enough to pick up at least a few. And Gangplank is now a few minions ahead, which is obviously not what you want out of this. You want to have these kind of exchanges so that, well, you actually get ahead. So all of the minions are are on this Thresh now, so he needs to make it out as soon as possible. He did use his flash there, and rightfully so, because well, the minions do quite a lot of damage early game, and that is of course kind of the risk of diving in there. Of course, they nerfed the minions a few times, and therefore the minions don't do as much damage anymore as they did before, but well, it's still a decent amount of damage. So anyhow, Gangplank just yeah, he's sitting here, doing his thing, and now pushing the entire minion wave into the tower. And Thresh now having some trouble last hitting this, of course. He does need to focus on what the tower is focusing, obviously. And that is, it's pretty hard to do, because you need to make sure that you hit every minion twice before the second hit from the tower comes in. And that is something that is just very hard to do. Thresh not really experienced, it seems, with that last hitting against the tower. You need to last hit in such a way that, well, the front minions take one shot and 2 turret shots. So you want to have 2 turret shots on them and then you attack them. Not before, because otherwise the second turret shot will take them out. The back minions, you have to attack first, then 1 turret shot comes in, and then you hit them again so that you get the last hit. Of course, all of this gets thrown off by the fact that your minions may actually do damage to the enemy minions, and then, yeah, it becomes interesting, of course. But you can see here, he's having some trouble last hitting against the gangplank here. Maybe he's having trouble last hitting in general, I don't really know that, because this is the first game I see of him. But at least we are doing, or we're still staying, well, kind of equal with the gangplank. We're a little bit behind, obviously. Well, we're actually a decent amount behind. But Thresh is a late game, well, champion. He needs to stack up those, what are they called? I forgot. Souls, I think? Yeah, souls. Hang on, I wanted to be here because there's a gang coming in. But yeah, he needs to collect those souls, and with those souls he gets extra power, extra armor, and therefore late game or mid game, I guess, he's better than early game. Early game he doesn't really have a whole lot. He takes a lot of damage. He doesn't get a lot of AP from that innate ability, and all in all, yeah, he's just going to have to work with that until, well, the time comes when he actually is tanky enough to take on this gangplank. But for now, all he needs to do is just make sure that the minion wave doesn't push into his direction again, because he has, well, noticed that it's not going really well with picking that up. Yeah, he is going to shoot out his lantern just to pick up that minion, minion soul, I mean. Yeah, which is exactly what he needs to do. If he can't reach, he can always just throw in that lantern, make sure he can reach that, and yeah, there's another soul there, so he can actually use his lantern once again. But the thing is, you don't want to overextend to get a soul, and that's exactly why he's being so cautious, because losing a soul is not too big of a difference, but getting tagged up for about half your health is of course quite a big problem. And look at this, finally the gangplank is coming in here. He's going to do some damage. Oh yeah, that was very nicely done by gangplank. Of course Thresh didn't have his flash anymore because he already used that, and therefore it was really hard to get out of that. And obviously the flash from gangplank was completely unnecessary. He has a movement speed increase, he has an ultimate that he can target pretty much anywhere, so the only thing he needed to do was just walk up to him, and well, the flash was just completely unnecessary. But so we'll have to see if that actually results in anything later in the game, because it might actually result in something. So top lane turret goes down, even though we're still at the beginning of the game. I mean, we're not even 10 minutes in and they could already take out that top turret. Of course it took a little bit of damage from the earlier pushes, but really not enough to make this, well, to allow this to happen normally. But it's because the jungler is not paying attention, is not coming to help out. He had, I think, about a minute there to actually come in and save that tower. But yeah, it's not going to happen. So anyhow, we are picking up the double golems here because farming is of course risky if you're behind in the top lane. And being 1 kill behind is already being behind. Of course, he's also a few minions behind, but as you can see, only 6 minions behind, and that is pretty amazing. We are now going to go on this, and yeah, this guy should be dead, but is he going to take the... No, he's not going to take the Sejuani with him. The Sejuani does survive, and yeah, great job. So they do make it a 1 for 1. Now in that top lane, although the kill did not go to Thresh, so he is still a little bit behind, but he's going to pick up some minions, so that at least the minions are equal now. That is not a good ward spot, by the way. It's a quick ward spot, sure, but this would be your ward spot. It allows you to see this entire region, including the jungle, so you can see sometimes that people are sneaking into this bush even. But more importantly, you're going to get an earlier warning, and of course that is what it's all about. That's why you ward. You ward not to see them, but to see where they're going to come from. So it's not that you need to have vision on them at all times. You need to see where they're going, and then once they're coming in, you know to either run away if it's someone that's stronger than you, or to ambush them if it's someone that you actually would want to attack. And that of course is yeah, that all depends on the situation, on who you are and who's coming in, things like that. And we should be able to grab this. Oh yes, nicely done. Unfortunately no Thresh assist there. That's unfortunate. Could have just tossed in the lantern to his teammate, because then he would have given a shield to his teammate, and with that get an assist on the kill. And assists are about 150 gold, so that it's really worth it to go for that. Come on, yes, lands that. Do we have an ultimate? We have no ultimate coming out, but this should be a kill. Yes, it is going to be a kill. However, there is Gangplank. He is going to run into 2 enemies before he can reach the Thresh. Thresh is going to flash out. Oh, so close. And oh, he's going to just walk the other way. However, his teammates are not paying attention. Now they're paying attention, and now finally we can call it a save. But very nice dodge there in that bush. Really did a good job. And we are now going to just follow these guys, because obviously the Thresh is going to recall and he's going to buy some new items. But man, that was close. Avarice Blade has been purchased, by the way, so a little bit of extra gold. And the Bilgewater Cutlass, so that's extra lifesteal and I believe a slow. Yeah, slows the target champion. So extra CC, and of course that is great to have. Oh, could have been a double kill here for the enemies. And still might be a double kill. Oh, come on. No, they will not catch her. But she's not getting out. Wow, she just completely failed there. But yeah, this guy should die. Yeah, he is going down. Zeroth, of course, not a good tower diver. And yeah, the same goes for Twitch. But yeah, Twitch was completely overextending there. Come on, we need to catch this. No! It's hard to land those things, by the way, because it takes a long time between the time you press the button and the time the projectile actually reaches its target. And of course that is exactly why it's so hard to land. This middle turret, by the way, is pretty much dead. So I'm going to assume that the Gangplank will pick that up, even though this Victor is coming in. Victor has an actual skin. You don't see that a lot on Victor. Because Victor is normally people find it enough of a hassle to actually have to buy him. So most people will not actually get the skin. Maybe it's one of the release skins, could be. I don't know. When he was released, yeah, people weren't really glad with the amount of damage he did, and I don't think they ever fixed that. So yeah, it's definitely not one of the best champions in the game. But it's seriously a reasonable champion. I mean, he's also not the worst. There are definitely worse champions in the game. And I'm still looking for a game played by him. Saying, yeah, I do have a Nami game, I think, now. Zeroth's probably also on my list. I don't actually know the entire list. I know which champions are definitely not on my list. And that's champions like Vayne and Ezreal. Because those champions, yeah, I've done so many of those, and Katarina, and also get so many of those. Oh, nice shot there. Actually dodged by the Gangplank. He did not want to stand in the way of that. He's not a team player at all. He is getting some nice kills going though. He's 4-1 now. And with Thresh taking out the top turrets, he did lose his turret there. But yeah, he's 4-1 with 103 minions. That is quite good for a Gangplank. Gangplank is of course a good farming champion. because you have the, well, a movement speed slash attack speed increase, which really helps out. And then you have that Q that you can actually use to farm. Of course, it's not really good in the early game to do that, but yeah, in the late game you can do whatever with that, or in the mid game I should say. So yeah, he should be having a pretty nice amount of gold already. Of course, he yeah, 7,200 versus 5,500, so pretty far ahead. But that's also because the Everest Blade and the Philosopher's Stone give him extra gold. And that really helps out someone like Gangplank, who also has his Q to get extra gold. So all in all, if you last hit a minion with your Q, you get like 7 extra gold for it, and that is a huge amount. I mean, that is such a big amount that it is definitely worth it to use your Q then to last hit instead of harassing people with it. Obviously, the harassment at this point not very impressive anymore. The lantern gets tossed in, but Sejuani dies anyway. Yeah, she overextended quite a bit there, and we are going to be in trouble. Yeah, the box needs to be cast in such a way that it's straight on top of someone. So the edge needs to hit someone, otherwise they're still going to be able to do damage, especially if you're in the box as well. So if you cast the box, there's this targeting thingy. You need to learn where the walls are compared to this targeting thingy. And are we going to be able to get this kill? No, no, no. We're not going to be able to pick up any more kills, even though, well, the Cho'Gath seemed to be taking a lot of damage there. He, of course, doesn't really have any magic resist yet. He has this, 20 magic resist, and then no magic resist here. As far as I know, no. And this one has a little bit of magic resist, but yeah, no real resist yet, and no armor either, so he is still pretty squishy. Well, he does have 70, so I guess his total will be reasonable. 114, I think it says. That's a reasonable amount, at least. It's not like good enough to take shots from a mid laner and to just randomly be harassed by it. But yeah, it's good enough. It's good enough. So it seems that Sona wants to pick up this entire minion wave on her own, but she's taken a long time to do so. And yeah, we're currently just running around with everyone a little bit. I at some point switched to directed camera. I don't think it matters too much at this point. Sorry. The skills were pretty much picked at that point, the Thresh skills. And we saw him actually level up that lantern very early on. And I was wondering why at first, but then I realized, oh yeah, that's used for picking up the souls. So definitely good, especially against ranged champions, to have that lantern at least level 1. Because then you can throw it in, and once you throw it in, you can just draw all the souls towards it without being in any type of trouble, without yeah, having trouble at all. So wow, that guy just took out the complete wards without having detection. That is pretty impressive. So probably some life or some attack speed there on oh, very little attack speed on the Twitch. I kind of expected him to have more. Here we go on the Gangplank. Oh no, he's going to live. Oh my god. Oh, he actually lived through that. And now we're going to be in a little bit of trouble because, well, most of our damage got used in that. And wow, a very nice kill there by Twitch. Twitch, of course, a reasonable bottom laner now. He is nowhere near as powerful as someone like Caitlyn or Graves or Vayne, but he is very good at, well, just being sneaky. And, well, the power of a champion really only comes in once you master them. And as long as your opponent, which is in this case the Caitlyn, just screws up every now and then, and by the way, a very nice kill there. As long as your opponent screws up, then you as Twitch can do whatever. I mean, we've had jungle Twitch, well, games with my team, where we actually had a Twitch that just picked up the red buff and then went to gank and got like 20 kills in the first 20 minutes or so, and that is pretty impressive for Twitch, because Twitch really can't jungle at all. In the new jungle he can, but that was old jungle, and he really could only pick up the red buff, and then he had to do something, and then he just came into bottom lane being sneaky and all and just got a kill there. So yeah, we would really use that as kind of an extra man in the lane, and therefore dominate the bottom lane. And once that's done, you transfer over to mid lane. You help Twitch a little bit with his farm, and you help him go to mid lane, dominate the mid lane, and then all that's left is the top lane. And well, we had a very good top laner, that's one. But also, even if the top lane loses, you won the jungle, you won the bottom lane, and you won the mid lane. So yeah, there's really nothing they can do anymore. Even though some top laners can still do a whole lot, most of the top laners are completely useless at that point against a fed Twitch. Because, well, as long as you can't shoot at what you can't see, and top laners are normally very tanky, but if you just go for some penetration, then yeah, it's not really a problem. Anyhow, we are currently in mid lane after doing a bit of trading kills and such, trading some minions, and yeah, we did catch up. Look at the minions there on Thresh, that is pretty impressive. And wow, the nice kill on Twitch. Wow, he is really becoming strong. Obviously that has to do with picking up those souls, and yeah, Sejuani taking all kinds of turret damage. Not really necessary, but well, whatever. Anyway, Sejuani goes down, gives a kill to Nami. Of course that doesn't matter at all, because Nami is just, well, crappy anyway. That's why nobody plays her. And this Sona is building Archangel Staff, which kind of makes me laugh, to be honest, because she doesn't have any support items. There are no wards on the map, literally 0 wards that she actually has. So there were some wards on the map. There are still 2 wards on the map over here, but you need to have that sightstone to make sure that you can actually keep vision on the map, because having a ward every now and then really doesn't help your team at all. Instead, it kind of means that your team either has to group up or has to be very scared, so it has to stay at their turrets and such. And of course, both of those things are not really good. You don't want your team to be grouped up all the time. Sometimes you need to. I mean, if the enemy team is grouped up, you need to group up. But normally you want to have a bit of a spread. But yeah, if you can get caught all the time because you have no vision, yeah, that's going to suck for you. But Sona also picked up quite a few minions. And holy crap, we're doing damage here. Oh my god. That was insane damage from a Thresh. But yeah, I guess if you go AP on him, he is not bad at all. So yeah, she has no gold per 10 items either. So neither does the Nami, by the way. But yeah, that's really what you want out of that. Nami, of course, had the Philosopher's Stone, but built it into just Shuragast. But you want to have those gold per 10 items because you're not going to farm a whole lot. Sona, on the other hand, farmed about 40 minions, which is quite a lot compared to what she should have. She should have a maximum of about 15 to 20, depending on how the game went. Obviously, if your AD carry gets killed a lot, so yeah, 3 and 4, that's killed a lot, then you can actually pick up the minions when they're gone, so when they're not in the lane. And wow, this guy is going to solo the dragon without any problems. So yeah, that's going to put us behind a little bit. And indeed, we are about 3k gold behind. Which is not good, obviously. We want to stay ahead. We want to keep that pressure on. But if we have fed champions on the enemy team, that is hard to do. We have one really fed champion and one reasonably fed champion on the enemy team. So Gangplank is of course really fast. He has 7 kills, he has 160 minions. That is insane. He's just going to build a whole lot of HP and armor and magic resist. And he's not going to be killed anytime soon. Unless he overextends, which he tends to do quite a lot. Yeah, the Twitch also has 150 minions and 2 kills, 2 assists. So that's not the best gold. But it is definitely a nice amount of gold. And Twitch being invisible and such makes it really hard to go up against. Of course, Twitch doesn't have the invisibility you used to have, fortunately for the newer players amongst us. For the more veteran players, it's kind of a shame because the invisibility of Twitch was actually kind of like the invisibility of Evelyn is now. That Evelyn has now. Evelyn's invisibility was the same as Twitch's invisibility was, but Evelyn kind of still has the same invisibility. So you can be invisible throughout a long period of time, and she can dodge wards with it. And Twitch now no longer can do that unless he knows where the wards are. And was that a good team fight? It's a 3 for 2, so I guess it was a reasonable team fight at least. We do have to go back here, yeah. I think everyone has to go back. But yeah, the Twitch now has like a 7-second invisibility, which is not very good. It doesn't really do a whole lot. It allows you to position yourself so that you can get a first shot off, but it doesn't allow you to gank as well as it used to. But yeah, Twitch was such a strong champion. You used to be able to just rely on him to carry the entire team, because with his ultimate you could just wipe out an entire team. Now you can only shoot it like 5 times. But you used to be able to do it for several seconds, so they defined the seconds, not the amount of shots you could fire. And since it's AoE damage, or well, yeah, well, technically it's AoE damage.